This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. So if you want a bit of that, click the link in the description. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at BEPRO. For those who haven't yet joined the Patreon, this is why I was saying these areas down here for at least this coin is a mouth-watering low. From previous behaviour, we've had such a significant run at this level before, right? And this is why it was on my shitcoin purchasing list down at these low levels. So we're running today, and from what I understand from one of the comments I got on my YouTube, is that there was a popular YouTube channel, probably not the influence of my own, but somebody else's, who gets watched regularly with large numbers, has decided to pump BEPRO. Now I don't know which channel it was, but I'm very grateful to them. But on a TA basis, it still is performing in the same kind of way that it did previously at these low levels. We double bottomed around here with the market, should I say? The market double bottomed. So remember, you know, this did double bottom here. This is a significant area, but also the market did this, right? And when the market was healthy again, BEPRO went into another charge. Now it did actually go on to make a lower high in comparison to this massive mega beast, but let's just admire what it did that first time around. It's a 600% move relatively quickly, right? And then continued into this consolidation pattern that it's been within this entire time. This is what I was saying on the stream, and I think I must have alluded to it on the video I made a few days ago about what, why I bought more of it. Is that even if it's just a measly reaction from this low to this high, we're still looking at a significant amount of gains, right? All the way down, we're still looking at over 100%, mostly over 200%, and we're hoping that this is the one that actually breaks out. Now, on a chart basis, let's have a look at the TA. We are at the 200 exponential as we speak. That's where we're at right now. There's nothing we can do about that. That's a very significant area for it to come up to. And if we think about the charge that it led last time round, we did come up to that and actually consolidate from it. Now, that doesn't look like much, does it? If you think about what we're looking at, so we moved all the way up to it, 150% move. Again, these candles look deceiving when you see the size of this chart when it decided to move, and a 25% retrace on the way back down before it continued on with its rally. We're probably going to looking at the same kind of situation now. I'm not saying that to annoy anybody. We've done pretty well already on this one. I mean, let's just measure it from the bottom where we were buying it at its absolute low. It's over 100%. That's pretty good. We're talking about it just at the weekend, weren't we? When I added more to my position, 73%. Pretty good returns in a very short space of time. Even just the amount that I bought at the weekend is now up 73%. So when we look at this sort of chart, when I bought the last time I bought it, which was Friday or Saturday, I think it was Saturday, BEPRO was trading at a lot lower than this. It was like you'll have to check the video, but I'm pretty sure when we referenced it, it was about $200,000 in a 24-hour period. So we're up over 10% now, getting up to close to up 20% in its 24-hour trading volume. This is what I mean when I talk about these altcoins where the trading volume is low, and if you get in at the right time, you're at the top of the Ponzi scheme, which is what it is. So every penny that comes in after you makes significant gains, because basically they create much bigger candles in a much faster space of time, right? Due to the order books being so thin. Everybody's piling on top of you. You've got the upper hand because you've got in essentially at the bottom when the trading volume is low. If this decides to go on to do these sort of things, we're looking at tens of millions in a 24-hour trading volume, and that's where it goes crazy. You bought the bottom before the FOMO. Now this is FOMO, especially if it's been induced largely to do with some other, I suppose, shill group or whatever, but that's no problem obviously for those of you like me that bought these lows, whether it's the weekend lows or the lows prior to that. Again, based on a chart, just on a chart, not speculation of what other popular channels can do to coins, which is what they can do. Again, with low cap coins, they can have some serious effect. Obviously, the biggest winner is the person who makes that video. Same with any pump group. I'd always stay away from pump groups because there's generally only really one winner. But on a chart basis, it looks quite good. But look at this, very, very overheated on your money flow index right now. We are peaking at 98.9. In fact, if you think about what we're looking at here, this is the highest the money flow index has ever been. So usually, if you wanted to buy in on BEPRO at this particular level, first of all, you need to go to the doctors and get your head checked. Effectively, is what you need to do, because really, what you're asking for is your money to be then swallowed up by the people who bought low. Now, for me, I'm not here to say when to buy or when to sell or whatever. This is my trading style and what I'll be looking at. But we are at a significant resistance right now. We are thinking about how we had a rejection at this particular level last time, and how that only came down by 25%. I mean, it's not a big deal when you're dealing with shitcoins. You got to be prepared to be dealing with like big numbers, big percents. But money flow index being at 98, effectively the highest it's ever been on this chart, even with these big massive moves like this. And being at resistance, and recognizing that some pump group has been involved, plus doing 100% from the bottom to the top. I think it's time to take a little profit on this on this bad boy. All right, that's only fair. We're a modest 51% up in a 24-hour period. I think it's time to take a little bit off the top and get back in on it. Like I like the BEPRO. It's become part of my Telegram and my YouTube channels. Almost rite of passages. You've got to have some of it, so you can have the highs with the lows, extreme rewards and extreme losses as well. So it's nice to have something like that in your portfolio, just to remind you all of just to give you a rain check of the pros and cons all in one coin of crypto. Extreme highs and extreme lows. So I am going to shave a little bit off the top with the aim to put it back in, when we consolidate. Consolidation on this one, when I'm thinking about what we're looking at, basically would be to probably come back down to around these levels, right? So that again, seems quite extreme. But if we were to get a rejection, we're talking a 27-28% move back down. Now that might not happen. We could power on through. We could power on all the way through to here. We could power on beyond there. I do have a lot of BEPRO because, like I say, I liked the idea of buying a mouth-watering low on a low cap coin. So taking a little bit of profit out of this is only fair. I can put it into some other shit coins when the time is right, which again, I feel like the time will be right shortly for most coins to have their charts mature. But when something's stretching out, overextended in this way, especially if it's got something to do with some kind of shilling pump group style video, then I think it's only right that this has reached its particular top for today. Let's just say for today, or maybe even this week, and then buy it back basically on the way back down. That's just me. Look, I'm not taking tons out. I'll take 25% out and let the rest ride, and with the aim to probably put some of that, if not most of it, back when it retraces. So BEPRO is looking pretty awesome, I have to say, but overheated to the max. Look at look at that volume. Whoa, that's not natural, unnatural. Last time we had anything similar to that was this, and look what happened there. Devastation to the max. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen now. I'm just saying that this is an unnatural move. It's unlikely to be sustained. It could be. This is what FOMO does. FOMO can basically break charts and make things unrealistically high. So we'll just quickly look at the weekly, because that also gives us a good idea of how overextended things can be. And actually on the weekly, things are looking pretty awesome, I have to say. So plenty of room to move. Plenty of room to move. And this overall would give us the vibe that, although we're looking at a potential 30% retrace from where we are at right now, if we do carry on with this kind of divergence, this kind of money flow from the low, this kind of setup being a descending triangle that breaks to the up, then we are looking for some serious moves up. Really big serious moves up after after this consolidation and probably there forward. So this could end up being one of those shitcoins that becomes a KuCoin gem, which is why I wanted to highlight it on that shitcoin video I made on Saturday, and yeah, be as transparent as I can about the things that I buy. Now, in fact, all of those coins are nothing new to the channel. You know, they were the shitcoins that I highlighted after the May dump around here. So yeah, they're nothing new to the channel. If you watch me or you're on my Telegram or Patreon, you know that those are the sort of things that I liked and the sort of things that I bought down at these lows before it did its initial run. So I'm just playing the same thing again. Remember, excuse me, I like to trade coins that I'm used to. It's very rarely I go out of my comfort zone and trade something new unless there's a very, very appealing setup and chart there. So, and I would always say this to most people who want to trade, right? Rather than just flicking around looking for different pairs and different coins all the time, try and focus on between 10 and 20 charts at all times with a variety of different market caps. That way, you know, you get used to the rhythm of that chart. You remember things a lot clearer, you know, prices, setups, reactions to moving averages, you know, all kinds of things that you'll become used to. And I always say it's like when you got a family member or a good friend that you know really, really well, and you put them into a situation, you kind of know how they would react in that situation without seeing it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'd love to have seen you in that scenario. I can imagine exactly how you would have behaved. That's what charts start to become for you if you focus exclusively on between 10 and 20. So not overreaching and looking at absolutely everything, looking at generally 10 to 20 and understanding how they perform. And that's really in many ways how this move has been born. I know that there's more to it if there is some kind of reaction taking place from that shill group, but generally speaking, I knew that BEPRO has a good chance of doing and leading the charge down at these low levels, and it seems to be doing that. And it's not because I sort of have a crystal ball, not at all. It's because I use the chart and I remember clearly, because I was sort of focused on this one all the way down to the bottom. I was too afraid to buy this bottom previously. I bought on the way up. But after the reaction had kicked in, but I remembered it on the way down. I remember the reaction it had, and I remember it being a very fast turnaround. In fact, it was almost too fast to try and get used to and pull the trigger on. This time round, I don't want to be in that situation. I have a pretty good idea that it will bounce from here, and if it does, it will be aggressive. If it doesn't, it will be devastating, obviously. But things generally looked quite good over the weekends, and it was relatively hopeful, which is why I thought I'll make that shitcoin video for everybody. Let everybody know what shitcoins I've been buying and why I've been buying them, and recognise that there is huge risk and huge reward involved in them. And we can see the reaction so far on BEPRO is pretty epic so far. But I think it's ready to come back down again. Now, somebody on my Telegram chat's actually been doing a bot on this one, a BEPRO to BTC bot using Bitsgap, and they will be absolutely killing it. And I'm really annoyed that I didn't do one. I had a BEPRO to BTC bot with Bitsgap only about 2 weeks ago. Just to test their scalper bot, their KuCoin scalper bot. So I mean, that is one way you can deal with these shitcoins in a really big way. You've got extreme volatility. Just having a look at this on the 1 hourly. I mean, absolutely mammoth volatility going on this. You could be buying on the way up, selling on the way. Selling on the way up, buying all the way down. That's what the bot will be doing for you. That is one way to deal with a bot like with a chart like this, and really sort of go to town with it. I know somebody actually had a Bitsgap bot during this period, and they sent me a screenshot at the time there was a few days where they were making $8,000 a day just on their Bitsgap bot, and I remember them saying to me, "What's the point of working when you can do this?" And I remember thinking, well, you're right. To be honest, if you're making $8,000 a day on just a simple Bitsgap bot, then what is the point of working? But obviously that doesn't last forever, and this is the one thing you've got to remember about any trade, whether it's a bot or a spot trade. It won't last forever, but when it does, when it is going on at the time, it can be pretty decent, and I think the BEPRO looks like this going into that kind of vibe. So maybe I will set up a bot with Bitsgap on the next leg down, so on this consolidation, because if it's gonna continue like this, which it could, there's a good chance that it will, then maybe a bot would be worthy of being created. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. I went a bit on a tangent there, but I hope you have a nice day anyway, and take it easy.